So going to Poland, I didn't really get to spend a lot of time outside of, the capital. So I didn't really get to visit anything. But hey, top 10 places to visit in Poland.
What's up guys, my name is Ryan and I want to show you some of my favorite places in the enchanting country of Poland. So here's my Polish top 10.
You went to Poland? I have been to Poland, but just to visit
Poland is home to some
people.
of the world's most stunning landscapes. From the medieval old town of
It's only
Gdansk
like
to the
2
towering
days.
Tatra Mountains, Poland has so much to offer. Let's
I
start
don't
this video
consider
off at the
going. I don't
impressive
consider
city
like
of
I
Krakow.
went
Now this may be one of my favorite
to
cities in
Poland.
all of Poland. Located in the southern part of the country, Krakow was founded all the way back in the 7th century, so you best believe it's full of beautiful history
It
and
does look
architecture.
really cool.
Now one of the most impressive
architecturally
sites is the
wise.
Wawel Royal Castle. It was built during the 14th century and was the first UNESCO World
That's
Heritage
such a
site.
weird
It features architectural
castle.
styles from the mid
Like, it's so weird because of like the whatever these things are. I'm getting the Romanian word for it, but not the English word for it. Jesus, this is like, you know that moment when you're like, what's the English word, man? I'm getting. Why am I getting Spanish and Romanian but not freaking English? I give
medieval,
up.
Renaissance, and Baroque periods. Now from the castle, you can make the short 10-minute walk to the main square. This dates all the way back to the 13th century, and it was the largest medieval town squares in all of Europe, which is pretty crazy. I mean, it's just fascinating to think of all the
Damn, look at that. Look at how like super cool the square is. And how the buildings are placed as well. That looks so badass. It reminds me a bit of is it Sibiu? I'm having my own cities kind of like melted. To be fair, it reminds me of like a lot of cities that we have as well.
history that took place here. Now in the corner of the square is the St. Mary's Basilica, which was built back in the 14th century, and it's a perfect example of Polish Gothic architecture. Another interesting
That is really cool how it's positioned. Transylvania vibes. Yeah, for real. It's very colorful as well. I have seen a few places here that are just as colorful. Like when I went over to Orada, we also had like very colorful buildings like this. It was kind of fascinating just to see.
of Polish Gothic architecture. Another interesting feature of Krakow is the Kosciuszko Mound. It's an artificial hill that was
That's
modeled
cool.
after other prehistoric mounds in the city. It was built in 1823 to commemorate the national hero named Tadeusz Kosciuszko. The mound is 112
Why is
feet
the
high,
mound
and there's
protected?
a serpentine path that takes you to the top to enjoy the panoramic views of Krakow.
What the heck
and
was
the
it used
Vistula River.
for?
Krakow is just such an amazing city, and I hope y'all can visit. After Krakow, we're going to head to the Tatra Mountains. Now, located about 2 hours drive from
That's
Krakow,
cool.
the Tatras are a stunning mountain range that straddles the Polish and Slovakian border. Now, the best town to access the Tatras is Zakopane, now located right at the base of the mountains. Zakopane is the perfect starting
Holy
place for your
shit.
mountain adventures. During the wintertime, Zakopane is an ideal place to go skiing, and in the summer
Man, I
months,
haven't gone
it's a prime
skiing
place to start your
since
hike
I got
into the
banned
mountains. One of
from
the most
skiing.
impressive spots in the Tatras is the Morski Oko Lake. You can make the 16-kilometer round-trip trek to the scenic lake. I mean, just such a phenomenal view up there.
You lost me at 16 kilometers. I'm like, I need to get in shape if I'm to do 16-kilometer round trip to see a lake. I would, to be fair, I would. The scenery does look absolutely fantastic. Oh,
An interesting fact is that the Tatras are the smallest alpine mountain range in all Europe, and they're home to plenty of wildlife, such as the Eurasian brown bear.
dude, we have so many brown bears. I don't need to see more brown bears. We have like most of them. Most of the European ones. Oh, how does one get banned from skiing? You don't want to know.
I just love how the Tatras
Just-
look. They
just
have
don't-
such a
don't
unique
question
and
it.
jagged look to them, and I just want to go hiking them this summer. Now, if you're into World War II history, you can visit the Memorial of Auschwitz concentration camps. This is located about an hour's drive from Krakow. Now, Auschwitz is infamously known to be one of the most horrific Nazi concentration camps. Over 1.1
It is definitely
million
known.
people died here.
Yes.
One of my favorite books I've ever read is called The Auschwitz Escape, and it tells the story of how 2 prisoners made their daring escape from this concentration camp. Now, after,
Interesting.
we're going to head to the northern part of Poland to visit Sopot. Now, located right on the Baltic Sea, Sopot was established in the 8th century and grew as a commercial trading post and fishing village. Over the centuries, Sopot faced adversity
Man, look at
as it
the
was
scenery,
abandoned,
though.
burned, and then rebuilt. But in the early 19th century, Sopot started to gain
There's so
popularity
much to
thanks to its
visit
spa
in
and public
Poland.
baths, and it quickly became a holiday resort town. Today, Sopot is a thriving tourist attraction.
Very interesting just how they have the area for, like, I guess park. It's not really parking. Is it called parking? The boats. Oh, but I gotta say, like, I do want to take the time to one day visit Poland, give it at least like a 1 or 2 weeks of traveling there. Because just being there for like a day and a half, basically, because the rest was spent travel, like airport stuff, right? It's one of those, like, I didn't really get to see much of it. Hence why I don't consider that I visited Poland, even though I did visit it.
Or there you can take a walk on Europe's longest wooden pier, or you can enjoy the swans and endless sandy coastline. Now I understand why it's called the Polish Riviera. Now after Sopot, we're going to head over to neighboring Gdansk. Located just a 15-minute drive from Sopot, Gdansk.
It's kind of fascinating as well that the video basically takes you and goes like, hey, you can start here and slowly, they have an entire travel itinerary connected with each other. It's very nicely made, the video itself. And this is so colorful and so pretty. I like orange a lot, like bricks and just orangey vibes to architecture. It's just like so much more vibrant than our very depressing looking city.
Gdansk is one of Poland's oldest cities with a fascinating history with periods of Polish, Prussian, and German rule. The earliest mention of Gdansk was in the year 997 AD, and during the Middle Ages, Gdansk grew as an important seaport and shipbuilding town. It rose to be one of the wealthiest and largest cities in Poland until Warsaw's rapid growth in the 18th century. Today, Gdansk is one of Poland's most beautiful cities. I mean, I just can't believe it's old town. It's full of these perfectly placed houses that seem to go on forever. Another really cool feature that I like about Gdansk is how the canal runs right along the old town.
I guess this is definitely one of the places I do want to go
While you're
see.
there, you can just explore the streets of Old Town or take a walk along the canal. I mean, just such an incredible city. Now, just an hour's drive from Gdansk is the Malbork Castle. I mean, this is the largest castle in the world by land area, which is pretty crazy. It was built in the 13th century by the Teutonic Knights, who were German Catholic crusaders. And as the number of the knights grew, so did the castle.
Seeing the castles right next to like a river is
just crazy to think that people were able to build such buildings back then. More than half of Malbork Castle was destroyed during World War II, but thankfully it was rebuilt to its former glory. Now after Malbork, we're going to head over to the Mazurian Lake District. Located in northeastern Poland on the border of Kaliningrad, this lake district is one of the most visited lake districts in all of Central Europe.
Poland
is
home
beautiful. To over 2,000 lakes. It's a perfect place to go sailing, fishing, or just swim in the lake. I mean, I just can't think of a better place to go on a hot summer day. Now, aside from the lakes, the
inside
area is
the AC,
beautiful forest, perfect for hiking and exploring. The Masurian Lake District is definitely a hidden gem that deserves a visit. Another scenic place for nature lovers is the Pieniny National Park. Now, located in both southern Poland and northern Slovakia, Pieniny is one of the oldest and smallest national parks in all of Poland. I mean, I just think it's such a beautiful area. The river runs right through it, and it acts as a natural border between Poland and Slovakia. The national park is home to many animal species, such as the Eurasian lynx, that I think is like one of the coolest animals ever. One of my favorite features of the park is the Three Crowns. The rock feature is made up of 5 sharp limestone peaks that create quite the sight. Now, another beautiful nearby spot is the Niedica Castle. This 14th century castle is located just a few minutes away from the park. I mean, this whole area is just incredible. Now, after, we're going to head over to the beautiful city of Wrocław. I mean, it's such a tricky pronunciation. Now, located in western Poland, about a 3-hour drive from Krakow.
Wrocław
is such a charming historical place. It's home
I
to
would have
one
thought
of the most
it's
beautiful market
Wrocław.
squares in all Europe. It's lined with elegant townhouses and
I would have
cobblestone streets.
mispronounced
Wrocław also has one of the most beautiful cathedrals in Poland. It was originally built in 1272, but has been damaged and rebuilt several times throughout the centuries. I just love its double spires. Wrocław is just the perfect place to just walk around and explore for a day. Now, for our final destination, we're going to head to Warsaw.
See, now this looks more... This looks more like my city. I was gonna say, man, Poland has so many vibrant, nice-looking towns, and then it's like, never mind. We're back to industrial stuff.
Located on the Vistula River in east central Poland, Warsaw is the capital and largest city in the country. Warsaw began to grow in the 60s, was moved there. It was called the Paris of the North, but sadly, Warsaw was damaged extensively during World War II, with over 85% of its buildings in ruins. Thankfully, today it's a bustling capital with a population of 1.8 million. One of my favorite buildings of the city is the Palace of Culture and Science. At 778 feet tall, it's the 5th tallest building in the EU. The crowning feature of the city is Warsaw's Old Town. It was established during the 13th century and is full of history and medieval architecture. Like the main part of the city, the Old Town was almost completely destroyed during World War II, but it was miraculously restored.
I was sad that I couldn't go to the Old Town.
When you're there, you can just explore the square and marvel at all the history that
it looks
took
really
place
nice,
in this
though.
medieval old town. Well, that is it for my Poland top 10. Let me know where your favorite place is in Poland in the comments below. I also started relaxing.
Oh my god, my cat's like brrrr. It's just like Poland definitely has a lot of places that I would like to visit. It does have scenery where it looks a lot more cozy and nice. Now, the capital itself, there are places that I definitely missed by not being able to stay there very long. But look at this, right? You have the one area that's kind of like nice, and then you have skyscrapers and just tall buildings, and yeah, it looks kind of nice like this. But also, when I was there, it wasn't very clean, like the city streets, I mean. Pretty much the situation that we have here as well. People not giving a flying fudge about it. It's like cigarette butts everywhere. That's one of the crazy things that I noticed as a difference when traveling in different parts. In Germany, there are like some cities where you don't see cigarette butts on the ground. And I'm just like, what the heck? Like, people actually, they kind of like extinguish the cigarette on a pole or something and then carry it to a trash can. And I'm just like, what the? It was so clean, and it's so rare that you see that compared to like capitals or don't smoke. I mean, there are definitely people that smoke there. I didn't see them. Hence why, like, as I said, they were extinguishing them on like a pole. But it's very different to see that level of taking care of a city. I have seen some cities here, like generally on the like smaller cities, where people take a lot more care about the surroundings, about the environment, about taking care of like the streets and stuff like that. But not that often. So it's always fascinating when you see a town like that.